And we're live. Hey guys, welcome to the Maiden Voyage, Homers in the Heartland. I'm your host, moderator, all-around dictator Daniel Ganarelli out in Medora. Now we got Matthew in Grand Forks. Say hello, Matthew.
How we doing, folks?
And then we got Eric, Sioux Nation down there in the bottom left.
The beauty behind the operation. Praise the patch.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is our first kind of Google Plus Hangout podcast type of deal, whatever you want to call it. For Homers in the Heartland, a little sports, culture, entertainment blog we're trying to start up here in the motherland, North Dakota. Pretty much just going to talk about heavy dose of Sioux sports, a lot of Bison trash talk, then all our professional teams, and we'll relate it to the blog, relate it to culture, music, and everything in between. So I guess to get started, let's talk about everybody's favorite hometown 11, the Fighting Sioux football team. And the season's coming up. They got spring ball starting to gear up too.
Fall camp.
Fall camp. Eric, you're the resident expert here. I just want to know, how many times am I going to have my heart ripped out?
I'm hoping no more than 6.
That's usually the over-under for the season. About 6, judging by the last couple of years. But we'll see.
I'm not as down as a lot of people are on Bubba's bunch. We've got some JUCOs in. We're down a little bit of talent on receiver, or we're down a lot of talent on receiver. But I mean, if you're going to be down in talent in a position group, that's one to be down on. The big key on this is how our offensive line and defensive line is going to perform. We've upgraded talent in a lot of different areas, but they need to perform so that anyone can do anything, really.
Yeah, in a transition year like we're going through this year, it's not so much, I mean, it is what group is the best kind of going in, but what group do you think has the most potential for growth? And when are we going to kind of see this football team's identity become in, the early stages of Bubba's tenure? With a name like Bubba, is it going to be heavy run, grind them out, or what?
Well,
I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to see how the defense rebounds after the last couple of years of Mussman's tenure. That seems to be the offense wasn't really the offensive side of the ball didn't seem to really be the problem. We could put up points, but we just couldn't stop anyone. We were like a turnstile on defense, and the secondary was pretty bad. So we'll see if Bubba can kind of try to turn things around on that front. Maybe Eric, I don't know what you think.
I'll go down to 2 position groups, and they both end in back. Defensive back's going to be a lot better than it was the last 4 years. We've had a tough go of it at defensive back for a while now.
Yeah, I've looked drunk at halftime quite a few times. I like thinking it's their fault.
Everyone in Alaris knew what play would be called, and they would still throw it deep. But now we got some good people coming in. The big one is this. I believe his last name is Tillman character from University of Houston. He's an FBS drop-down transfer.
Any relation to Peanut?
I only hope so. But he's everyone who's been watching 7-on-7 with him says that he's the real deal. I mean, he's an FBS talent. I think he needs wants to see the field, so he's coming down for his last year. And we got two other defensive back transfers. Those are JUCO transfers. We have a stud freshman by the name of Chris Carter. All he does is stop touchdowns coming in. And the other group that's going to be most improved is quarterback.
And now with that quarterback situation, are you looking for for Bubba to make it pretty cut and dry? Mussman went back and forth all season last year. How do you think Bubba will handle that? Because you can't win without good quarterback play, but it's pretty tough to play good if you're always looking over your shoulder.
I'm not 100% sure how that's going to play out. I think either can play. I'm not as the whole you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none argument. I don't think that's the case here. I think a healthy competition, especially with the turnover, is going to be good.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I would say too, Bubba being a kind of his first year, I think you kind of get a little bit of a grace period. So I mean, I think he's going to kind of try to find his guy and ride him. And if it doesn't work out, I don't think the fans are going to be that, you know, that disappointed. It's kind of like another gut punch in a line of gut punches, maybe, you know. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's a great way to put it. But can we all agree we're happy with the direction the team is going just from the total scorched earth policy of firing the last regime, letting Bubba bring in all his guys? Can we say it's a brighter future today than it was last year at the same time?
Unbelievably. I mean, yeah, since the Sioux Falls game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those last couple seasons under the previous regime really, there wasn't a lot of hope. There wasn't a lot of. I mean, we put some decent wins on the board during the season, but then it was kind of like a step forward, two steps back. It almost seemed at times. So I don't know. The whole new Bubba thing kind of seems to bring a new direction, new hope, new swagger. You know. So we'll see.
Yeah. He brings a different vibe, and I'm picking up when he's laying down. But enough looking to the future. Let's look back to the past. We're all Sioux diehards here, all football fans. So I got to pose it to you. Who's your favorite former Sioux football player? Matt.
Oh, geez, do I start off with Jimmy K? That's who I would probably go with. I think everyone's favorite, you know.
It's some low-hanging fruit, but it's tasty fruit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone can just point to that, you know, the YouTube clip of him catching that touchdown in the dome and going like 50 yards and scoring on the Bison. So, you know,
I've never seen a
Exhibit A.
guy run faster than him on a highlight tape when he was here. It's just a mass of humanity.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
Eric?
I don't know how you don't go with Jimmy K. I mean, there's a lot of good options. Weston Dressler, you know, maybe he freaks out under that Andy Reid offense and you know, makes everyone you know, he's the guy now. You know, if
Yeah.
you're a little more have a little more years on you, Dave Osborne started for the Vikings. That's probably a fair answer.
The big one.
Finest. See, I'm gonna have to go with though the best that never was, Ryan Chappell.
Oh,
If there's ever a more electrifying player, when he was electrifying, he was electrifying. And that stadium would be rocking going to the chapel, and you just knew it was chapel time. Eric, what's that 100-meter or the hurdles story that he ran at Bismarck?
Matt Albert would be the guy to tell you that at the Grand Forks track.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he was a year older than me, and we both ran track at Grand Forks Central. Shout out. And at state track, he wanted to break the 300 hurdle record for our school. I think it was a state as well. And he'd gotten close, probably about 0.2 of a second off for the previous race. And so he looked back at me, and I was kind of standing on his blocks or whatever and grabbing his clothes and whatnot. And he said, well, maybe I'll move my blocks and see how that works. So he moves his left block about 2 notches back, gets set, go, just crushes the record by like, I don't know, whatever it was. Set it by like beat it by a second essentially or whatever it was. So it was pretty crazy. He had just speed, man. Speed kills, right?
The kid oozed talent if only he would have kept it together for more than one season. But yeah, I think those are all great answers, and I don't know, we got a past and a tradition to hang our hat on, as rough as these other couple years were, and I think Bubba's really going to add to that. Shifting gears, though, you know, to the big leagues. Eric, you wrote a really great blog on your boy Teddy Bridgewater, my guy, T-Rex Teddy. So how about you give us the cliff notes of that?
The Louisville Slugger, man.
That's exactly it. No, I mean, anyone who like saw me, I got in like 3 or 4 Twitter arguments that night he got drafted. I was all on board with Johnny Football. I was going to do that after every first down. I was going to buy approximately 13 Johnny Manziel jerseys, but then we drafted something called Anthony Barr, and couldn't trade up with we couldn't beat Treveland's to trade up, and we have Teddy now. But you know, you kind of kind of turn your back yourself into thinking, this is the guy. You do it every time. It seems a lot like history repeating as a Vikings fan, but you're going to do it because you're not going to just go into every season thinking you're garbage. I mean, imagine that's what like a Bills fan or Browns fan is like.
Yeah, and I mean, with previous quarterbacks, I mean, you kind of touched on in your piece there with like, drafting Ponder or some of the other quarterbacks. I mean, with Ponder, he was a lot higher as a draft pick. Going in, Bridgewater going into this draft or the year or whatever, he had been like top 5 on a lot of boards. I mean, you steal that guy at 30. That's when he doesn't work out. Well, okay, not the worst thing in the world, I guess, but 30th pick or whatever he was, it's like I'll take that if he ends up panning out, I guess.
I guess it's kind of the opposite Ponder, but it just was a little heartbreaking when we had.
I mean, I see where you're going with it. You're getting great value, in terms of his ceiling and what he can be. But I just think that's going to change pretty quickly when 2 years of playing outdoors at TCF Bank with a guy who already wears 2 gloves, short arms, every ball. I mean, that pro day was atrocious. Like, can't really.
Yeah, that is sort of the caveat. A lot of people are kind of worried about that, but I mean, that's kind of why we have Castle, I suppose, is if we can get. I think a lot of Vikings fans would be okay if if Teddy wins the job in training camp, great, he's starter. We'll go with that. But if it's borderline or whatever, you want to give it to Castle, let him play a year out. I think a lot of people would be okay with that.
Matt, do you want to see him winning out of training camp? That's a big deal. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can go with. Aaron Rodgers sat for years, and look what he's doing now. Andrew Luck came in with the worst team in the league, and look what he's doing now. Is the truth somewhere in the middle, or would you like to see it at one of those extremes?
I mean, if he wins it outright, it's clearly he's the better player. You have to play him. You have to give him the starting job and see what he can do. I mean, I don't see how you could do it any other way. I mean, Coach Zimmer's already kind of said that. It's open competition at every position. He's kind of stated that, and I think that's the way he's going to roll. So we'll see how it goes.
Eric?
Well, first off, to go back and address your glove thing, we're not take-off gloves. If you noticed when he went to the Twins game, he was wearing gloves. He'll be wearing gloves till the day that he retires.
Hey, I mean, Tom Brady wears gloves too. No one ever seems to talk about that. Or Peyton Manning wears gloves. Okay.
Roethlisberger, Warner.
Yeah.
Not to a baseball game.
Maybe they weren't throwing out the first pitch. If he's going to throw something, I want him wearing the gloves.
I mean, the Twins probably were going to try and put him in the lineup the way their season's been going, but that's another story.
Yeah. Speaking of the Twins, how are we all surviving that? Folks, if you don't know, I'm the marketing kind of coordinator out here in Medora, North Dakota. We don't get Fox Sports North, and it kills me. My little glimmer of hope, well, used to be glimmer of hope, was every now and then, the Twins would get on Fox Sports 1, that new kind of sports channel, trying to take a shot at the 4-letter evil empire there, ESPN. So anytime the game comes on, I kind of build my weekend around it. It's typically on a Saturday afternoon, and I get all hyped up for it. And they never cease to just tear my heart out and wreck my entire day. We're talking 1, 2, 3 innings in, they're down 4 rip, and they've already struck out 7, 8 times. It's just devastating. Like, when you don't have your sports fill, and then you get this, and you're like, yeah, it's going to be great. No, it's not. And it doesn't have to get better. Isn't that right, Eric? It's my own personal Game of Thrones hell. Nothing is sacred with the Twins. Oh, Dan, you had a rough week of work? Yeah, we're going to be on TV at noon. Give you time to sleep off that hangover a little bit, wake up, watch us play. No, they suck. Radio, no different.
Well, I don't know if you deluded yourself into thinking that they'd be a good team this year. Like, what inspired you to think that they're any different than they were the last 2 years? That Joe Mauer plays first base now instead of catcher?
I'm the biggest Mauer hater
Suzuki, man. How about Kurt Suzuki?
Buster Posey is what Joe Mauer could have been, and it just pains me. The Giants are on Monday Night Baseball, it seems like, every frickin' Monday. And to see Buster Posey 2 World Series, and what he's doing, 30 home run seasons, multiple, and oh my God. I hate the people that say, oh, you had to pay Mauer, the local boy, going into the new stadium. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You want to know who you should have paid? David Ortiz, J.J. Hardy, Francisco Liriano, Johan Santana, and like 10 other guys. And I'm sick of the comment that it's tough playing first base. He could have went to Florida State to play quarterback. You're telling me he's not an athlete? Like, the Twins apologist, Anthony LaPanta, I cannot listen to him when he says that. Or that we need to give Gardy more time. No, we don't.
Well, I'd kind of heard through the rumor mill that they're kind of keeping the status quo here with Gardy for at least the next couple of years and trying to maybe even groom Paul Mahler to take over the job for that, whatever that, is it 2016, 2017, where they start to bring up those prospects that they've got in the minors.
See, my thing is with that whole grooming Paul Mahler, with Gardy mentoring him, how do you know you're just not going to get Gardy 2.0?
I think the big deal, they don't need that pitching coach, Anderson 2.0. I mean, how long does he get to ride on the coattails of Johan Santana?
I just hope Vance Worley keeps doing good to prove what an idiot that guy is.
I mean, in their defense, the bullpen has been pretty standout this year. It's just the starters, I mean, other than Hughes, I mean, what really do you have there?
Kyle Gibson. I feel like, mathematically, the Twins should lose every single game unless he's starting the game. Phil Hughes, it's a 50-50 coin flip. But, I mean, as soon as you put him in a park that is not TCF, or the target field, he's just going to get shelled. He did at Yankee Stadium. He does when they go to any of those short ballparks. I mean, yeah, throw him at the Padres and he could be a 20-game winner, at Comerica. But, no, that's my pet peeve. And
what's
that?
The pitcher last year that they had who's just going off this year? And, God dang it. He was.
I don't know. Gomez was an all-star.
No, it's a pitcher, and they.
No, I know. I'm talking just if we could do an entire show on former Twins that are making it big.
Well, yeah, but they just talk. It's like 2 or 3 pitchers just talk about, yeah, I got out of Minnesota, and they were like, hey, I wasn't opening up enough, or just something really little, and then they, have a no-hitter the year after they leave us, and. Well,
I mean, yeah, it's nuts, and. I mean, yeah, we kind of got off topic here with baseball. Let's just kind of run with it. We really want to try to blend in, music with our kind of blog and culture aspect of that. It's the 9th inning. You're up 1, home field, Game 7. Giving you the closer, Brendan Vaughn. What are you walking out to, Matthew?
I can't say Enter Sandman, right? That's taken.
Yeah.
That's off the board.
Sandman, number 99 in hockey, and number 42 in baseball. Untouchable.
Geez. I don't know if I'd go like hipster music ironic, like walking out to
like Joe Mauer.
Like Blondie or something, but I'd probably go with, I don't know, like Wolfmother or something. They got some riffs, Woman or something, right?
Ding, round 1. Eric, you have the chance to throw the first punch.
Well, I've thought about this quite a bit, and I can't believe you said that, Matt, because my answer is Joker and the Thief.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's the right answer. We could play this off as an opinion question. There's answers more right than others, and Joker and the Thief is the right answer. It's got a pulse to it. It's got sweet guitar. Crowd can get up and get down to it.
What's that?
Did we lose Daniel?
we may have. Oh no.
No, I kind of see him squirming.
Yeah, I'm here now.
He just didn't want to listen to you go off on your tangent there, Eric.
I can't take it because the right answer is "When the Levee Breaks" by Zeppelin.
That is a pretty nasty choice. I mean, the opening drum pattern is
Just
Epic.
impending chaos.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely got the power to it.
Give me Murderers Row from the Yankees with Gehrig and Ruth and DiMaggio. I'll mow them down.
That's right.
No question.
1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, man.
How about you, Matt? If, say Wolf Muller's taken, what are you going to go with?
Jeez, you put me on the spot.
Helter
This is a
Skelter
good
would be a
question.
good one with that Beatles poster.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're necessarily
And
they're not geared for like a walkout song, or like especially like the heavier riff stuff. You kind of want to go with some more metal, or like you know like Mountain Mississippi Queen, or something, something along, maybe, Foghat Slow Ride. It's kind of a joke. I'm throwing heat. Give me a slow ride here. Who knows?
It kind of depends on where you're playing.
you don't get to pick your walk-up song for every stadium.
No, but I mean, like, if you're
I see
only
what
gonna play
you're saying.
you're only gonna
Culturally
play,
relevant.
if you're playing in Boston, like, shipping out to Boston's probably really cool, and everyone probably really loves it. It doesn't have that same appeal if you're playing for the Kansas City Royals, though.
When the
If
levee
you
breaks.
pitched in Boston as a closer, would you be able to come out to Sweet Caroline, or is that like repetitive?
That might be sacrilege.
Yeah, I feel like it's too repetitive. Just like in New York, I'm not coming out to New York, New York. I may do a Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way. That would be kind of cool. Say if you're like a dunk ball pitcher.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would
Yeah.
be better?
Yeah.
New York pitcher playing Boston and playing Sweet Caroline as your walkout song.
Cuckold City.
Cuckold City.
Yeah.
Oh man, shit. So just checking my battery life. 20. All right. So yeah. What do we want to do for another topic then? I liked the sports ones, like talking football. What
Yeah.
was
I mean,
We'll pick one off that email list.
yeah. Geez, I don't know. We've already kind of got a little bit of fill of our two sports, I guess. I don't know, Eric. What are you feeling?
Pick one of the topics there.
Or are we good for the time being?
I'm looking at the topics right here, and I'm looking at the sports ones here. And this one, I'm really not even sure. I don't have an opinion on it, so I'll just I'll let you guys start on this, and then I'll decide what's going to be the right answer. What is the worst postseason in sports?
I liked that one. The worst postseason in sports. When I initially thought of it, I wanted to go with basketball. In the sense, not because it's not good, but it's so anticlimactic. The best teams always win. That's kind of why I like it. The best team always seems to win it. There's never an upset, anything like that. When the Heat were in their prime with a healthy D Wade, you knew it was going to be them. And the only chance the other team had is if they could outshoot them. This year, pretty much everybody knew it was San Antonio right from the get-go.
I mean, would you have said that Dallas was going to win the year they won it against the Heat?
I wouldn't have, but like I said, I feel like that's an outlier in the grand scheme of when was the last time you were like, wow, that's an upset.
Yeah, what about when the Detroit Pistons beat up Karl Malone and the Super Lakers?
And see, I don't know. Read Phil Jackson's book the last season, and he said it's pretty much writing on the wall. Kobe was going through his rape allegations out in Colorado. Gary Payton, Karl Malone, they couldn't move. Their knees were so bad. Yeah, guys coming off the bench were Smush Parker and Luke Walton. Yeah, it's pretty much they couldn't handle Rip Hamilton. The two Wallaces down low. Chauncey played out of his mind. Tayshaun just.
You gotta dunk that, Reggie. You gotta dunk that.
Reggie.
So yeah, my gut reaction is out of the four major sports, it's basketball. But honestly, football in there too, because I hate the Super Bowl.
Professional here, right? We're not including like March Madness.
Well, I'm saying because I haven't thought it out enough to know.
Well, Dan artificially framed the argument to help himself. I think,
You can pick anything if you want to pick the women's basketball tournament, or I'd almost pick men's lacrosse, because they interrupted 2 years in a row. They interrupted Sioux hockey games in the NCAA regionals. So yeah, I hate men's lacrosse playoffs. Like, that's the reason why we lost to New Hampshire in 2010 or 9, was it? Because we didn't get to watch the first 15 minutes of the game.
Clearly still bitter about it.
Just
wait. It's only not even close to hockey season yet. I'm already hyped. What do you guys have to say?
Well, my first blush is irrelevant now, because it would probably be who likes, bowl season besides the SEC and ESPN. But now we have this 4-team playoff, so we'll see how that's going to play out, which is going to, I don't know, that could be hairy. But
let's go.
you brought up a point that I kind of like. A lot of Super Bowl games suck.
It does. Championship weekend, million times better than the Super Bowl. A million times.
Yeah, as a football fan, it's like conference championships are my Super Bowl, if that makes sense. And maybe that's because I'm a Vikings fan and I've never seen us win one. So, like, I won't know the difference between what winning.
You guys didn't win that Saints game?
What?
You guys didn't win that Saints game?
Oh, jeez. That was a low blow. I didn't know we were going there.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
How'd your AFC Championship game go this year?
My what?
How'd the AFC Championship game go this year?
I don't know. After 3 years of making it to the title game there, I'm kind of used to it.
All right. But yeah, I don't know. As far as like the postseason question, the NFL is, you get those opening rounds and even those, I don't know when they do those, like the Saturday, Sunday kind of double headers, or that's always kind of fun.
Yeah, that's great.
I think it just kind of depends on year to year, because MLB can be exciting depending on the teams in it. Hockey this past year was amazing. You get all these OT games, but I don't know. I think it just kind of depends upon the makeup of who makes the playoffs. Each league. But I could be wrong.
It's gonna take forever is the only thing.
Hey guys, this battery is saying like 11 minutes left, and I didn't bring the power cord home.
Of course you did.
Well, no.
And you call yourself the moderator.
Do you want to keep doing this, and I'd get my Mac?
I think we could
Because I just want to stop this broadcast to make sure, in case it needs to upload it all to YouTube, so it saves.
Are we
Yeah,
still?
I don't know. This is a pretty good trial run, right?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Is this still live?
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
I'm just gonna stop it to make sure it gets uploaded to YouTube.
Do we have any
sounds good.